go to comments from the public based on board agenda items that will be covered in board action. I'll remind you of special board meeting rules as far as BE and what can transpire during such meetings. Okay, with that being said, there's a 3-minute time limit for each individual speakers, and at this time, there's been a call for 3 people to speak. Please come up, state your name and where you reside, and then continue with your comments. At this time, G10B wanted to be discussed by Marcus Williams.
Hello, Marcus Williams. I live in the community. I was just wanted to say a couple things about the approval of personnel matters. And given the recent developments, ability of the board member, some of the board members, how could you possibly move forward with any decisions regarding the approval of any personnel matters? And finally, how can the parents and community take anything seriously from the board, given its lack of transparency and egregious behavior?
We'll move on now to Lynn Larson.
I've come before this board before talking about a number of items. G6, the questions for your superintendent search. I have pointed out in the past that this board has been in violation of its own rules in regards to executive sessions and excluding Dr. Williams, the superintendent. I have also pointed out other infractions by this board in procedures. Once again, I have come about some information has come to me about a pending investigation of members of this board. Okay. And if Mr. Montgomery has the same tenacity as the other county attorneys that I have known and worked with, then you're in for a hard ride. If you do not state your piece, and if you do not express displeasure with the way things are being done by this board, then you're complicit in the entire process. Whether there's lies, whether there's deception, whatever the situation is, if you have willingly gone along, then you're going to go down with the ship just like the other members of this board if the county attorney finds the investigative evidence to be in fact factual. I wonder if the questions for the new superintendent were done in-house by this board with influence from members of the community who may want a certain demographic established within the Alhambra School District that I grew up in and so have loved for all these many years. Was the ASBA involved? Were any parent groups involved? Or again, was it an internal, let's do the questions this way so we can get who we want in that seat, so he or she will do what we want and will not worry about the parents, will not respond to hundreds and hundreds of parental displeasure with the entire process. I trust that when the investigation is completed, that some of you will take a stand and do the right thing and disassociate yourself with items and actions that are truly not only illegal, but also not in the best interest of the kids of Alhambra School District.
Thank you. Ms. Charmaine Work. That's going to be speaking once again to item G.06.
To Robert, Zamora, and to board members, to all the community that's here on tonight. I want to talk about for a second the superintendent candidate interview and questions. I want to again raise the same question that we all have been asking and talking about for some time now. I simply want to ask, why are we moving forward with a superintendent when we had a superintendent that was meeting all of the qualifications? The superintendent that we had was not under investigation. She was doing a good job. We have yet to receive transparency. We still do not know why this search is taking place. The president led the witch hunt and the lynching of Dr. Williams, and now it's your turn because you are under investigation. Why we are all sitting here acting like that's not happening, it's true, it's a fact. My guess is that you are going to be found guilty. Why then are we moving forward? Because anything that he does is going to have to be retracted. Anything that every vote that he gave is going to have to be retracted. We need to halt everything. No financial expenditures, no trips for the president. None of that needs to take place. It all needs to stop until this situation and this matter is resolved. Love the kids enough to stop thinking about yourself for 1 second. Love the children enough to stop utilizing $13,000 and more for a search for something we don't even need. Love them enough to put your signature on a resignation letter and resign, because that's what you need to do. You know as well as everyone else knows that when this investigation is over, you're guilty. You need to resign, put your name on the paper, and let us move forward. Thank you.
We'll move on to the consent agenda items. The board approved item G.01A, approval of vouchers, G.01B, approval of personnel matters, G.01C, approval of office supplies and products request for proposal, G.01D, approval of HVAC job order contract request for qualifications, and G.01E, approval of white copy paper bid as consent agenda items. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Ayes carried. Move on to item G.02, intergovernment agreement, IGA, between Alhambra School District number 68 and the City of Phoenix Head Start program. The board approved implementation of the IGA between Alhambra School District number 68 and the City of Phoenix Head Start program for services for preschool children for July 1st, 2015 through June 30th, 2016. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes carried. Approval of Head Start staff salary schedule. The board approved the 2015-2016 Head Start staff salary schedule. Funding of these salaries is contingent upon full funding of the Head Start program by the City of Phoenix. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes carried. Approval of Head Start staff notices of appointment. The board approved notices of appointment contract for Head Start employees for the 2015-2016 school year. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes carried. First reading of policy GCCA, professional staff sick leave, and policy GDCA, support staff sick leave. Both policies GCCA, professional staff sick leave, and policy GDCA, support staff sick leave, have been changed to remove the requirement of a note from a physician or healthcare provider upon the employee's third consecutive day or fifth cumulative sick day of a given school year. This change will be effective on July 1st, 2015. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes carried. Approval of superintendent candidates interview questions. The board approves the questions that will be asked to the superintendent candidates during the interview process. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second that motion.
All in favor?
Roll call.
Roll call.
Mr. Martinez?
Yes.
Mrs. Alvarado?
Aye.
Mrs. O'Neill Frantz?
Nay.
Mr. Lopez Falk?
Aye.
Mr. Zamora? Motion passes 3 ayes, 2 nays.
G.07, travel to ASBA 2015 Leadership Institute. The board approved Kathleen O'Neill Frantz to attend the Arizona School Boards Association 2015 Summer Leadership Institute in Flagstaff, Arizona, June 11th through the 13th at district expense. Is there a motion?
So moved.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes carried. Comments from the governing board. The mission of the Alhambra School District is to provide the students with the knowledge and skills for continued academic excellence through high-quality programs, services, and support. Governing board members are encouraged to share any comments relevant to the Alhambra mission statement at this time. Is there any comments? Yes, sir.
Forgive me the right to this, but my comments will now likely not change the form direction, but I'm disturbed by the disuse of the committee advisory panel. I would formally say that I wish them to have had more of an active role in Monday's proceedings this Monday, as I wish the community as a whole could be more involved. We believe we'll be moving in the right direction. If we do not commit to inclusion, we are doing little to calm the concerns and feelings. We must be available and accountable to our constituency, and this decision must be made with them by our side. That is why I voted no on the items tonight. In light of recent events, I believe that we should slow down the process to reevaluate our candidates and to allow greater involvement of our committee panel in this discussion. We simply cannot disregard the voices of our neighbors. Only by including them will we put this district on the right track. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you. First, I want to say happy Teacher Appreciation Week to all of you teachers who show up every day for our students. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you teachers, and thank you for child nutrition employees for making sure our students get fed every day. And nurses, thank you, thank you, thank you. You know you are really appreciated. There are questions that have been coming up concerning the transparency and integrity of this board for a while now. So as a board member, I am not willing to vote yes on certain agenda items that are now questionable in light of the information that has been presented to us. I now have to question all the questions and have to question all the actions that have been taking place since coming on board. I've heard many people state that they want Alhambra to get back to the way it used to be. This can never happen if there is not trust between the stakeholders and the board. If the community is not happy with the board's actions, then we will continue to have Alhambra District viewed as a district in turmoil. I would hope that in our roles as governing board members, that we would all put the district first, and in saying that, step aside whenever we are bringing negativity to the school district. Negativity impacts the #1 priority of the district, and that's student achievement. That's what we're here for. And if we truly have purity of motive in our roles, then when one of us is subject to anything that is putting student achievement at risk, and also bringing down the morale of the employees, the parents, the students, the community, I would expect that person to do what is right by the district, especially the students, and step aside so that we can rebuild Alhambra and the broken relationships with the public. And I agree with Mr. Lopez that I think we need to slow down our process of the search for the superintendent and maybe come together and regroup and figure out what our next steps are.
Right.
I don't expect an applause because I have been on the board for 8 years. And I know that one of the most important decisions a board must make is to hire the leader of the district. We do not hire other staff, but we hire one individual, and that is the leader of the district. I take that duty very seriously. I believe that we are moving along on track. We have started the negotiations back before Christmas. We're now in May. I know that as the district begins its search for a new superintendent, I also agree that we will assure that Alhambra will continue its legacy of excellence. I know that our students will remain the center of our focus. We have, for all the time I have been on the board, it has always been student-centered. We are working to provide an outstanding educational experience for all of our students. What the Arizona School Board Association has done is they have reached out to everyone that is a stakeholder. So what everyone can do and has done is they have gone online or they have received a paper copy of the survey asking for the input. 875 persons submitted, not 700 of them online. We are doing a lot to try to reach out to our community. As board members, we respond to our families, our students, the people that live in the district. That's who we respond to. Naturally, we want to have a board that works very closely with the leader of the district. A leader of the district needs to work very closely with the board so that we can move forward. I believe that we are already moving to the next step, which is a community forum where the public is invited to Sevilla School at 5:30 on Monday. My grandchildren attend this district, and they are constantly getting information coming home so that parents do have access. We are being as transparent as a board can be. If you go on the website, you will see all the dates, the times, the locations, the timelines that we are offering to the community. I really do believe that the school board is moving proactively, positively to again move forward, because our primary focus will be on our people, our path, and our practice, and that's all the students. All the students. So we are here for the children of this community, and to hear anything different is really offensive to me. I have dedicated 31 years as a school teacher. And we all serve without pay. All of us here do not get paid for what we serve. And we are here countless hours. We don't just show up for school board meetings. We also show up for community luncheons, for school events. We show up for STEM. We encourage our students in the arts. We encourage students in band. We are here for all students. This is public education. We are under attack financially. There are a lot of private and charter and other schools that are attacking public education. We are down at the bottom. And we're doing the very best we can with a little bit of money that we get. And so part of the budget is, let's take a look at how we can best serve the children with less money. I have been in the classrooms. I did a touring of all 15 schools. We have 15 schools. About a year ago, I went and I toured all the schools, and I saw some really excellent teaching going on. We have got some great teachers. We have to retain the great teachers. They love our kids, and we need to continue with that. And that's what Alhambra is known for. Thank you, Mr. Zamora.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Mr. Zamora, what I'd like to say is that when we set up the community involvement, the committee, we had parental input for this process, okay, and they were a part of it, and some of you that are here tonight were not present when they were able to do their presentation. We had 875 responses, okay. It was a very good survey that was sent out. I think we're moving in the right direction. You know, I also have 2 grandkids, one graduating from this district this year. And, you know, I believe that, you know, we're doing some positive things. I applaud the teachers. I've been, you know, on the board for 4 months. You know, I ran for 1 term. Parents asked me, you know, they some of them that talked to me to run. I'm running for 1 term. I'll be 61 when I'm off. But I believe, you know, I spent 23 and a half years in the prison system. Florence, Supermax, I worked them all. I know what happens to kids when we don't support kids and take care of kids. I know exactly where they end up. I worked with juveniles early on in my career. I haven't really opened up and talked to a lot of the community here. But I can assure you one thing, you know, kids come first to me. And the last thing is I'd like to also thank the teachers, you know, for what they've done. And then one last thing, you know, when I started here, and I've attended school board meetings in other districts as an advocate. I've been an advocate, a community advocate for many, many years. Since 19 years old, when, you know, we marched with Cesar Chavez, and we had a lot of issues in the Chicano community. So I'm not immune to knowing, you know, what the issues can be, you know, in the projects and the barrios and stuff, because I lived them. But, you know, one of the things that I'm very concerned about, President, is that, you know, and I've been concerned since I've come on this board, is that we don't have an interpreter at every meeting. You know, we don't have agendas in Spanish. A lot of, you know, this is 84% Latino, Spanish speaking. You know, why are we not doing that? You know, we need to fix that. And that's my last comment, sir.
Thank you. The comments that I'm going to make tonight, I want to thank all the teachers for all their hard work and administrators during this process that we're going through. What I will say is that we're going through some tough times, and I understand that some of the decisions that we are making are difficult. Some are not appreciated, while some are. If we take a look at the audience today, you will see that there have been parents in the past who have come. I directly asked that they be involved. The parents, the groups, all stakeholders. I wanted to ensure that every stakeholder had involvement. That's what they asked for. That's what I asked the superintendent and ASBA to do. Secondly, I felt, as well as Adam does, that there wasn't enough involvement, so I directed the superintendent to get a hold of all the stakeholders, teachers, parents, the person that represents the district at a higher level, so that they can ask the first questions in next week's forum, so they can continue to have input in who our next superintendent will be. And with that, I hope that we can move forward. Secondly, there have been allegations made, and they are allegations. And I will say exactly what I said to the news earlier this week, when I welcomed not only print, but also video of my home. I allowed them in. I allowed them to know what the process was, what I was going through. I allowed them to understand my personal life and where it's at the moment, and I welcomed the investigation. I did hire an attorney who will be speaking on my behalf and looking at the information that everyone has seen, to include him reaching out to county attorney to get this behind us. And as I say, I welcomed it. This is strictly allegations and nothing more. So with that, I will say that a special session of the governing board will be held May 11th, 8 a.m., Oaxaca Room. A special session of the governing board will be held May 12th, 2015 at 5:30. A regular board meeting of the governing board will be held May 14th, 2015. All meetings will be held here at 6:30 or special times posted in the Alhambra School District Governing Board. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We stand adjourned.